Home Alone 1 and 2, we trust.
Low-key, he was a spoke like brat.
No, but if he hadn't done that, he would have not even saved his brother's lives. You know that, right?
His brother's in danger as well.
The parents were taking advantage of him, so that's why he did child emancipation.
Wait.
Wait, you talking about the actor or the film?
The film. That's the film. Oh, please. Yeah. Welcome to the Outtake Show. Yes, it's the show where we give our outlandish reviews and opinions within the movie and TV world. This is episode 58. You got the host with the most in the building. Y'all, man, Junior is here. But we've got a silent assassin as well. We've got Maz Junior as well. Run with me.
I didn't kill no assassin. I know I do the gun fingers a lot, but I didn't do that.
You're holding back from the gun now. You're putting the holster.
I'll be honest, like I'm actually anti-gun.
Oh shit!
I'm actually very anti-gun.
We're ending the year with truth now. No more gunshots in 2025. No more gunshots. Fair enough. But we got a guest in the building. But wait, there's more. Yes, we got one of the biggest guests we had ever in the Outtake Show.
That's kind of rude.
Oh my god, I can't believe this.
Rude.
Who's this queen?
We've got a queen in the building. We got one of the biggest producers out here.
30 under 30.
Yes.
It's giving 30 under 30.
Yes, man. Tell him, back me on this one.
No, because if I feel like this queen doesn't give herself enough. And
that's the
accolades.
problem. She never gives us her props, but here at the Outtake Show, we'll make sure she gets all the credit that she deserves.
Big slay.
We've got BAFTA award-winning producer in the building. We got Tobi.
I thought you were gonna do something else.
I'm so sorry. I think I might have spat because I love so.
I was like,
No, sorry, you guys ain't hearing it because I'm hitting sound effects and stuff.
oh,
So it's like-
that's how I was
No,
like.
all I saw was we got Tobi, thumb strike.
And I was just like,
Yes, we have Tobi in the building with us on his beautiful Christmas special. Tobi, how you feeling? How you doing?
I'm alright.
You good?
Yeah.
We've been popping bottles. I don't know
We
if
have.
I have it in the main episode or not, but we've been drinking quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get the juices flowing before we start this
Please,
Christmas
no, be done.
special. As you can clearly see that
Yeah.
the juices are clearly been flowing, but
Yeah.
we got a lot of stuff to go through, or maybe we don't have a lot of stuff to go through, but we're gonna go through a couple of news reports. What do you guys want to talk about first?
Actors on actors, variety.
Yeah.
I have been eating this up. My family's sick of me putting it on because I'll just go downstairs, go on YouTube and be like,
Yeah, I think it's the
What's
first
been your
time
favourite?
I actually watched it.
okay, I'll say it's actually directors on directors.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either Luca and Denny Vanu
Mm.
or Zoe Kravitz and Matt Reeves. Because they're just fangirling about each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I saw somewhere on TikTok for Denny and Luca's one. It's like it's a queen off.
Yeah.
With Matt Reeves and Zoe.
No,
Oh.
for Luca.
Oh,
for
yeah,
Luca and Denny.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of clips. They were really like bigging each other up.
I
like,
think they should
constantly.
collab.
Oh, that would be crazy.
I feel like the best ones have been when they've been like just like
fangirling over each other.
they just
Yeah.
care about each other's like
Yeah,
lives. It's
yeah.
like their day to day.
And they're a little more chilled. I feel like there's some of them. That's why I think this is the first year I've actually watched even like one of them. I think before I always used to see the clips.
I don't like the tables though. I think it's too many people. I like it when it's just a duo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, I watched the actors one, the round table. It was cool, but the duos are always a lot more better because they get a little bit more intimate, a little bit more chilled, more relaxed, more reserved, and then they can like bounce off with one another. But I think in the past, I feel like the past actors on actors has always been, it just felt a little bit too PR-y, where they're just saying stuff that I feel like they don't really believe, but they're just saying it because they're on camera to make it.
The
Not the one where
publicist.
they're all like, oh, I don't work with enough women directors and da-da-da-da. And then what's her face? Kristen? Can't remember, but she's basically just like, I do. That's a choice.
So like you don't like women.
That's a choice.
Could never be me.
And they're all like,
I'd be pushing for more women in film.
She's literally like, yeah, everyone I've worked with
Has been females.
has been a woman.
actually.
Like, can't relate. And they're all like,
Like you can tell some actors actually
Love it.
dislike each other or like
Love it.
can feel there's a little bit of insults going towards them, but they just do the, like you said, the little. Yeah.
What else can you
I'm
do?
gonna tell my publicist about you, and then I'm gonna talk about my therapist about you.
I don't want to be in the same room with her again.
What was your favourites?
Coleman and Kieran.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm less interested in like super like industry focused, unless like they are really talking about something really interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel like Coleman and Kieran just did not give a fuck. Like they were just
Yeah.
like talking about everything other than the work.
First like 10, 20 minutes they're talking about star signs.
Yeah.
They're like, I know our PR is probably like pulling their hair out right now, like, we're not talking about anything. But that's why I love it most, because it can tell that it started off with them just like being friendly and getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And then when they start talking about the film stuff, it just
Then
felt
it's
everything.
like,
It felt
cool.
real.
It felt natural.
It was a nice icebreaker.
Yeah.
Really good icebreaker.
They just talked about everything,
It
their
felt-
routines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a perfect blunt rotation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a night. It was a perfect blunt rotation.
Yeah.
And I think it had less of a I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
100%. I think those two personalities are two people that are like more human compared to the other actors at times. Like they seem like they definitely just go off with what they think in their minds and just want to bounce off and just talk. They're definitely people that you can see yourself being friends with compared to other actors that when they talk you can just tell it's a little bit too much.
Like I feel
Too
like
scripted.
they did Zendaya dirt. I like Nicole Kidman and everything, but she was too robotic.
Yeah.
And so you could feel like there was a barrier between each other.
Yeah.
They should have made her and Josh do it together.
That would have
they're
been
so
good.
close.
Yeah, so close in age and everything. That would have been a vibe. Yeah, but yeah, I've been enjoying it. I'm starting to embrace the actors and actors, even the directors and directors. I think going forward, I'm gonna watch them more. I was skeptical about when they first announced the names. I'm gonna check out the Macbees one. I think that one will be really good. Besides that one, I'm definitely gonna watch the Luca one because I saw some clips and I really enjoyed it. Besides that,
there is the Sean Baker one, but like I just.
Who's he talking to? Oh, he's talking to the director of the Brutalist.
But I don't know why. There's something there that I just couldn't.
There was a quote from that interview that's gone quite viral now. He basically spoke about he doesn't understand why superhero films can get 3 hours of runtime, but it's so difficult for a drama to get 3 hours of runtime.
Because people don't have like attention span for anything other than big boobs.
Should not be 3 hours.
I know
Why
you guys
is it
are
film
both
3 hours?
individually have said why films are 3 hours. As a producer, how do you feel about films?
There is literally very little reason for a film to be 3 hours long.
You enjoy any film that's 3 hours? What film's 3 hours? Though?
Rarely.
Have you seen Oppenheimer?
No, still. Because it's so long.
Yeah, but don't
Because it's so long.
don't watch it in like normal viewing. Actually watch it the way it's supposed to be seen. 70 mil.
She's not gonna.
It's the idea.
But why don't you mess with 3 hour films?
But I also feel that way about plays. I feel
but
like
plays are normally meant to be like 3 hours. Am I wrong?
that's
Yeah,
too
but
long.
But you have intervals.
Yeah.
And the intervals help a lot.
They-
But
you
the
have to have
Brutalist that you said that you liked in terms of the trailer, and that's gonna have an intermission as well.
I hear it.
Yeah.
My thing is, I've rarely watched something that long and been like, that needed to be that long.
Yeah.
I've always been like, that could have been shorter.
But
Even if I enjoyed it, definitely still could have
Well,
been
so
shorter.
you'd prefer it in parts rather than in one body?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
are you looking at it with like, I'm a viewer watching, or are you still looking at it with producer eyes?
I'm looking at it as a viewer because ultimately I'm watching it as a viewer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, that's nice, but it didn't need to be 3 hours long.
I don't know. There's definitely a lot of films that you can argue that shouldn't be 3 hours long. But I feel like some cases, I think some movies want to be like an event, and they know that they want to tell this story, and they're never going to go back to this story again. So they want to make sure that everything they vision for it is captured and put out for the audience to watch. and I respect it, and a lot of times I actually enjoy it.
I hear it, but no.
Debate.
I don't even mind like indulging in certain things when it comes to film. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, indulge. Do you know what I mean? That's what the cinematic form is also kind of there for. But 3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours.
What if it doesn't feel like 3 hours?
It always feels like 3 hours.
Some films don't feel like 3 hours.
It does.
Oppenheimer didn't feel for me like 3 hours. Avengers, Infinity War, Endgame didn't feel like 3 hours.
Bruh.
I knew someone was gonna say it.
I'm the lad of this conversation now. Oh shit! Look what happened. But fair enough. I always support 3-hour films because I feel like there's some stories I feel like I always go, oh, that could have been longer. And a lot of times I leave the cinema going, yeah, I feel like they could have added more. And also I just respect the director that has a vision for
Yeah, but
a
Anora
certain
was
story.
perfectly told, and it wasn't 3 hours.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like, I don't think every film should be 3 hours. I think there should be a selected few that if the director has that caliber of like skill set and is able to do it, if it can be done, then I can appreciate it. Obviously, there's been times where it hasn't succeeded, but I do think there's times where it has. I think Oppenheimer is close to 3 hours. I think if you round up is 3 hours, I think that works. Of course, I think we can all agree there's some scenes that probably could have got cut out, but I think overall it's just a good
How
film
long
to
was
consume.
Avatar?
Avatar's probably like 2 hours or so. Could probably double check right now. But
Because I feel like Avatar's probably been one of those films where it was just the right length, where it was a bit long,
2
but it was
2 hours and 42 minutes.
yeah, it was just about right because it wasn't dragging too much.
Yeah.
But it was enough to build a world, a storyline, and then get it back to it.
That Lord of the Rings films are quite long. And I'm happy that they're quite long.
Look, it's not like I don't think any film ever, because a lot of like also like old musical films, for example, long as fuck.
Yeah.
Long as fuck. Do you know what I mean? The musical sequences, long as fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm not like totally mad at it, but I just feel like more often than not, when I do watch a film that is that long, I'm like, I don't think it needed to be that long.
Yeah.
More so than being like, oh, actually, I feel like this needed to be longer. I don't think I say that more than I say this could be shorter.
Okay.
We listen and we don't judge.
Should we actually play that now then?
Because it's quite an easy way to do we listen and we don't judge into the next segment.
Do you guys, we're going to play a game of we listen and we don't judge, but we're going to do it movie edition. So any opinions you guys have within the movie world that you feel like people may judge you for, this is the perfect time to say it because no one here will judge you. Maybe in the comments. No, I'll take that back. Have you guys got one in mind?
Okay,
Before coming here, I had stuff in mind. Now it's all gone.
I've got loads. I think the big one for me is sick and tired.
Wait. We're gonna say it.
We listen and we don't judge. I'm sick of people coming up in here saying they're sick of sequels and prequels and whatever lols, but they'll be the first people. They'll be the first people to be coming up to the cinema and watching those films. But when it comes to independent films that are giving like fresh new ideas that are a bit weird, no, scared. Yeah, I'm scared. I don't like it.
We listen and we don't judge. I think Tyler Perry is an abomination to the black community.
We listen and we don't judge.
I feel like the recent conversations about intimacy coordinators are indicative of our regressing society.
We listen and we don't judge. I feel like Nicole Kidman definitely needs to get a new person to work with her in hair and makeup because them wigs are not looking nice. We
listen and we don't judge. Michael B. Jordan is not a good actor. We listen and we don't judge.
I had one and now it's gone. Hold on.
Do you know? I know you got another one in your brain.
I think Tom Holland is better actor than Timothée Chalamet.
That's facts. But we listen and we don't judge. And he's also it's the fight between two nepo babies, but the English one did better.
Boy,
come on, England! It's
coming
home. You want even more time?
I don't know what it is. It was literally just in my head.
I feel like actors who have been trained in theatre and go on screen do better than these dancers/singers going on screen. We listen and we don't judge. That's period.
Facts.
That's period.
Facts. We listen and we
don't
don't
judge.
judge. Some of you film critics out there shouldn't be film critics.
We listen and we don't
Hey,
judge.
man. Prosecco.
Film Twitter is fucking annoying.
Yeah, sorry.
And none of you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You don't know what you're talking about.
We listen and we
we
don't judge. I feel like a lot of people are still quite early on into their film journey and so have not really developed yet beyond big blockbusters. We listen and we don't judge.
Oh, damn, twist. We listen
And
we don't judge.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go on.
I think it's important to start looking beyond just films and looking at different forms of art in order to really appreciate how to get the best things. We listen and we don't judge.
Oh, damn, she definitely shot someone. I don't know who she shot, but
No, I just think
that
it's
was a
just...
direct.
Yeah,
that wasn't actually a direct.
There was a name on that bullet.
You, Richard, at home watching this is for you.
They had heartburn right now watching this. Like, damn, she's talking to me. Don't get that message on WhatsApp, boy.
Was this about me?
No, it's my fault. Come on.
Why has it gone right in my head?
I know you got someone as well. It's escaped you, innit? Escaped you. I don't have another one on me. I'm sure I do.
But then I'm also like, is it?
But I don't talk too crazy.
For once.
We've already started now.
Go on.
Wait, I can't think of one that I want to talk crazy about.
Oh.
We listen and we don't judge. I feel like in the art space, a lot of people are taking on the wrong message because of racial tones rather than listening to the actual story. We listen and we don't blood clot judge.
Well, I could hear that coming out of your headphones.
Nah, she shot me. People still. She got AK-47. Start blasting. Oh, you got some?
I'm still trying to remember the one that I was gonna say.
Do I have any more on me?
I think the British film and TV industry should support black talent more because there'll be series that everyone's loving and then suddenly they get cancelled.
Yeah, we got a 2 series maximum in this country.
Yeah.
We listen but we don't judge.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, which isn't controversial, that I said to you yesterday, is that I think the Biffers were fucking rude for putting their craft awards on Instagram and not in the actual main ceremony.
Wait, what?
They announced it on Instagram.
Yeah, because I remember you were saying the person who curated the original sound for
Kneecap. Yeah.
Didn't find out that he'd won until you'd messaged him.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, Mikey. And he was like, oh. And I was like, oh.
Damn.
And it's because they announced it on fucking Instagram.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
You don't care about artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do better, Biffers.
Yeah. Oh shit, get it. She said her name. Yeah.
And I'm judging you.
Yo, shit, she's judging as well. Oh shit, you say we don't judge, we're judging.
We listen and we apparently judge. We listen and apparently we judge. Face.
Oh, we good? Have we got our stuff up?
I've got one more.
Oh shit, okay. We listen and we don't judge.
What's that film? A Wonderful Christmas or It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas film that everyone loves, but every time I've really struggled to connect with it, and I don't know if it's because of who I am as a person, but I don't like it that much. We listen and we don't judge. I know it's really sad.
Swag.
I've tried so hard. I've really tried. I just can't.
I got one. Just remind me one. We listen
and we don't judge.
The Batman is better than the Dark Knight. You can meet me outside.
That's on what
No,
period? Because it's closer to source
that.
material.
Yeah,
It's closer to source material. No, I actually get so annoyed about this because at the end of the day, right, Bruce is actually just a detective wearing a costume and everyone's getting upset that it's a noir. But it's a noir.
He's a detective. He's meant to be a noir. You make no sense. Yeah, we like
No,
Christopher Nolan.
you've made
we like Christopher
the
Nolan.
comic book geek come out of me, man.
Yeah,
No.
we like Christopher
We listen
Nolan.
and we don't judge.
And we don't judge. And you know what? We listen and we don't judge. Some of you lot, yeah, are fake movie people. You lot are just gassed by certain Christopher Nolan films and think just talking about Christopher Nolan makes you like a superb like movie critic, bro. Watch something else. Watch some other movies. Not every day just talk about Interstellar, bro. God damn, bro.
That's actually true.
Frick, you know, bro. Every day talk about the same 5 films. Oh wow, you watched that one film that everyone's watched. Try something new. You heard?
We listen and we don't judge.
Wow.
I feel like female directors need more accolades because some of them are out here carrying on back. But you'll be talking about the same, like Junior was saying, the same directors, same 5 films. And then your film bros are trying to explain it to me. Bro, I work in the industry. I don't care. We listen and we don't judge.
Gang. Nice. We did that. We got a shit off and we won't be judged.
Amen.
No, because you listen and you don't judge.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yeah.
Praise to that.
So, with that being said, I had to brought the It's a Wonderful Life one because I was gonna segue into the Christmas stuff, but it's okay. It's all good because we're gonna use that as a segue regardless. Because of that, I wanted to talk about what's your favorite Christmassy, non-Christmassy Christmas films. So, like my favorite being Bridget Jones.
Mm.
You know what? Yeah, I don't think I have a film that I go to watch during Christmas. But if you was asked me what will be a non-Christmas film that you really enjoyed, I think the bait one will be Die Hard because I really enjoyed that film. Another one is The Incredibles because that's my favorite animation movie. So I can see myself watching that at Christmas, and I think it's a non-Christmas film. I hope it's a Christmas film.
I feel like Shrek is a non-Christmassy film. Am I being silly? Because it's basically like a panto.
Yeah.
And I love a good panto.
I love Shrek.
Shrek was amazing. Shrek 2 is crazy.
Yeah, it's basically a panto. So there's no way you can't tell. There's a goodie, there's a baddie. Yeah. He's behind you kind of vibes.
Yeah.
My favorite, I don't know if it's my favorite, but I grew up watching it during Christmas because it was always on TV. The Mummy.
The
Mummy.
No, but don't they have the scene in the snow? Or is that the Mummy too?
I think that's the Mummy, like free with Jackie Chan.
I know the first one is when like the little beetle thing, like you see it go through the person's boot and it's like
You know what? I think the Mummy's the most played movie on ITV.
ITV2.
Every day they put out the Mummy. I feel like they own the rights for like 5-10 years.
They were feeding Brendan. What's it?
100%.
For like 2 years.
Definitely helped pay his mortgage.
Watching that on ITV2 since I was like
9.
It
always comes on ITV every time. You know, sometimes when like a movie comes out, like a new movie comes out, like a Mission Impossible movie comes out, and then they play the old ones on ITV.
Yeah,
that's normally the format. I think the Mummy came out. Every time a new movie comes out that has nothing to do with the Mummy.
Yeah.
The Mummy
it was like oh, action. Audience gonna love this.
I mean, it's such a good film that it's like, it's bulletproof, innit?
Yeah.
You can watch that with the family, you can watch by yourself.
I can't believe that as well. Like, that's Rachel Weisz's like biggest film. And then and it's proper action.
Yeah.
And she ends up getting married to James Bond.
Oh, wait, did she?
Daniel Craig.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, they're together, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair. Shout.
I would also say the James Bond films are also a great Christmas film because they're always on ITV2.
Yeah. I also agree with that.
Did you see that segue?
I love Jane. Yeah, I see you did that. She's known for a segue still. Shout out to Maz Junior.
Period.
Well, speaking of James Bond, do you want to talk about the possibility that Josh O'Connor may be up running to be James Bond?
There's also that, and then what's his name? Jean Page.
To be James Bond.
Yeah, there's been rumours about that for ages. There's been rumours about that for ages, and then there's a new film coming out with Michael Fassbender and Pierce Brosnan called Black Bag that Universal are bringing out.
Yeah.
It's got Cate Blanchett in it as well, and he's going to be one of the characters. So I feel like this is his like step in the foot to say, look, I got this. Whether that goes well,
yeah, I need to see it.
Well, how does he look? Does he fit the James Bond?
He was in Bridgerton.
Yeah, he was the main dude.
Wait, you say that as an insult?
I'm trying to be like this. That's where you might know him from.
Oh.
He was the one black guy.
Oh, him?
Yeah.
For James Bond?
Yeah. Zimbabwe, stand up!
Oh, fair. You know what, yeah? I don't want a black James Bond.
No. Oh my God, the fucking discourse.
I don't want to.
The fucking discourse.
I would like a black spy.
Fair, he's mixed race.
It doesn't. He's not white. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters is he's not white.
I don't want a black.
But
I think it will be too much.
What's his name? Henry Golding.
Henry
He was
Golding.
in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, I know you're talking about. He's British as well.
Yeah. And then he was also in the lineup for it. That's another really good Christmas film. Last Christmas.
Yeah.
Last Christmas, but that's just a Christmas film.
Yeah. Nah, bro, I was giving you a middle-aged white person that looks like an alcoholic. That's what I want my James Bond to be.
What, Fassbender?
Yeah, nah, you're not in the right.
He's Irish, no?
Yeah, but he so was Piers Brosnan.
Oh, you know what? I sit corrected.
I listen and I don't judge.
I had to recap that big quick. But yeah, I'm not too convinced for him to be James Bond. You know what? You know why? I think he can probably do it, but the backlash behind it is so great that it will just overshadow everything. It's like, what's the point of even trying it?
If Jean Page.
Yeah. It's like, why?
The discourse will go on for days. You know how long they've been slinging Idris's name out there?
And he's built
and everyone's just like...
And it was nothing was confirmed. It was just a rumour that he was up for it.
But the thing is, that would have changed the audience for James Bond from being old white men to middle-aged white women.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
And you know it would have been booked.
Yeah.
Ho. That's just them in the cinema.
Literally.
That's just them in the cinema. Topless, all that. Yeah. They'll be living their
white
best lives.
women love Idris Elba, man.
Idris as James Bond would be like Magic Mike for them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You think middle-aged women really like Idris Elba like that?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
They love him.
He DJs house music.
No. It's because it's Idris Elba.
Just because he's
Yeah.
good looking.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Shout out to Idris.
It's because he DJs house music. Do you think that average middle-aged white woman is going to see Idris Elba DJ?
If that's if that's your
they're not watching The Wire, are they?
To be fair, I don't feel like we need a black James Bond because Skepta kind of proved that you could just do it on your own.
I prefer you just try to do your own type of thing.
Yeah.
Don't use the James Bond tag. It's not why. James Bond meant to be like a British. The whole James Bond thing is labeled as a British middle-aged alcoholic that's crazy with the women. That is
Managallis.
Yeah. No, he is though.
He'll be bagging them on missions.
The thing is, like, if people were normal, you could have anyone as James Bond.
Yeah.
Remember when they cried about 007 being a woman?
Oh my, the people just.
Oh yeah, they went crazy. And it wasn't even like it's just part of the script.
No, it wasn't like she was actually James Bond.
Yeah.
Like, she just got the number.
Yeah, because he lost his badge. Yeah, it's crazy.
People just aren't normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's not ready for
My dad loved that film though. I took him for like
I enjoyed
No,
it.
it wasn't great, but it was a great like, I'm gonna take my dad and we're gonna watch it together film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I enjoyed all the James Bond. The first 12-year-old
What's your
film I
favourite
watched
one?
was Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
Yeah.
It's not my favourite, but it's the first 12A film I watched in the cinema.
Same.
When I literally went on my birthday with my friends from school.
That was one of my first cinema experiences of a James Bond film. The others were like in the house, ITV, throwbacks, kind of vibe.
Yeah,
I'll stick by this. I'm gonna stick with the old ones, and it's Sir Roger Moore, Live and Let Die, because it also had like black representation, and it was like so cool. Like,
is that one with Halle Berry? Or was that
no, it's old. It's like 70s, and they had like basically it was like almost a little bit horror-ish.
Yeah,
because at the end, like the thing that's supposed to be scary and all of that. Isn't like the villain is actually just a ghost.
Oh, what the fuck?
What's the best James Bond theme tune?
I really like Skyfall.
Yeah.
Skyfall. That's actually one of my favorite James Bond films. You know.
Skyfall.
Really?
Yeah, I think the story, everything was just really good. like they just nailed it. Like obviously he fails a mission. He's basically like, kind of like exiled from the agency, but they still bring him in. He does like a fitness test. He passes, but it turns out he failed. But his mother wanted him to be a part of it anyway. Had one of the best villain monologues.
Yeah.
Because like he's tied to a chair and the villain's just walking and it's all static. And the villain compares him and James Bond to like rats in the island.
Yeah.
It's just a really good. Everything was just really solid.
Yeah,
and it's just quite interesting to see the best Christmassy non-Christmas films are always quite British. So we've got like Harry Potter as well.
Yeah.
And then About a Boy.
Fuck J.K. Rowling though.
Yeah.
Fuck J.K. Rowling.
It's
not every day be transphobic. Sometimes clean the mold in your house.
Do you know what I mean? Big millionaire like you, and you got mold on your walls that you can't scrub down yourself. You can't even pay someone to scrub that shit for you. It's just growing on your walls. Crazy.
But yeah. Also, we've got About a Boy. I think that's a Christmas film.
That is.
That is a Christmas film.
That is.
I haven't seen a film for ages, you know.
Same, but
you
that
know
is a
what?
Christmas
I want to
film.
make efforts this Christmas to watch those type of films.
But I like watching non-Christmassy films that you're like, oh wait, it's actually Christmassy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you know what the thing is. Non-Christmas films are better than Christmas films because they still give you the Christmas like feel to it without kind of like being shoved down your throat that hey, it's Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas films are quite formulaic. Like you kind of know.
Except for Home Alone.
What's gonna go on? Yeah.
Home Alone 1 and 2, we trust.
Yeah. I love those films.
Home Alone's amazing.
I have VCR versions of the whole collection because I love them that much as a kid.
Hey, that kid, you know, low-key, he was a spoke like brat.
Huh? That's the one that saved his own life.
Yeah, but like the fact that
but if he hadn't done that, he would have not even saved his brother's lives. You know that, right?
His brother's in danger as well. Can't remember.
Because the parents were taking advantage of him, so that's why he did child emancipation.
Yeah. Wait.
Wait, you talking about the actor or the film?
The film.
Not the film. Holy shit. You wait.
I was like, what version of Home Alone?
I'm looking at my drink like, wait.
You have to clarify. You have to clarify.
Masturbation. I was like, wait. Home Alone. You know what?
I was like, did they
because that film was the one that triggered his career.
Hey,
I can't go back from that.
That put me off guard. I was like, what? Fair enough. Yeah, you know, shout out Home Alone, man. Shout out Home Alone. Good film.
And now you'll see me go red. Turn red.
That was hilarious. Okay, fair enough. Do you get?
Wait, did you watch Black Doves?
Yeah,
yes.
Black Doves was really good.
And it's a great Christmassy, non-Christmassy vibe.
True.
You know, it actually is.
That is true.
It really is.
Do you want to know a fun fact?
Go on.
So this time last year, me and my friend went on a walk in the market and we didn't realise that we're filming for that.
Oh, shit.
So you're in it like...
Just in the background, but obviously I don't know if I'm actually in it, but we were on set when they were filming for it.
Oh,
nice.
Sick. Yeah. Nice. I think that show was really good. That Toby was telling me about the writer. So before even clicking on it, she already had put in my head that the writing is going to be really good. And I was actually really paying attention to the writing. Which
Pick up Joe Barton, man.
I actually never did before when watching like TV shows.
Writer.
I don't really pay attention to... Well, I pay attention to the dialogue, but never enough to understand that it's coming from actual writer that's writing up the script. And I really enjoyed the conversations between all the characters. I really enjoyed the performances. I really enjoyed the structure of the story as well. It is like Slow Horses. It does give that feeling. I think it's Netflix version of it, but it is just a good...
Have you watched Slow Horses?
I've watched a few episodes. I've seen a couple episodes we're watching it with you.
Yeah.
And I've seen the first 2 or 3 episodes of season 1.
Slow Horses is great.
But I really enjoy Slow Horses. Like, I need to go back into it and actually finish it off.
Yeah.
But it was giving that vibe. But I think it's its own thing, and I'm happy it's getting a season 2. I do hope it finishes and wraps things up.
No, it needed a season 2 because what do you mean it starts off with a court case and now I don't know what's going on? Because I thought it was going to be one of those like limited series where it just ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought as well. But I think they did that thing where it's like they still left things open for there to be a season 2, just in case they.
Which I really liked because I really enjoyed this series.
Yeah.
Same.
Like Kerry Lightney, she did Levels, and it's crazy because I haven't seen her in like in TV or film for a very long time. So it was good to see her.
But then Netflix had also shown another show where she's doing espionage, and that happened earlier on, like a couple years back.
Yeah.
So I'd watched, because like what I do is I like to watch certain films that I know I like to make an understanding of why they got picked for that role.
Yeah.
So I watched it and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And it was really good. I need to try and find it, but I'll probably post it on my socials and be like, this is a really good watch. Because it made so much sense to why she got picked for an espionage show.
Yeah.
And I wish she got casted for more action stuff after Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
She's very good in it.
Yeah, she's really good in it. I don't know if maybe Pirates of the Caribbean, she didn't want to be like typecast into that. Maybe that's why she tried to.
Yeah, but like
she went to like period pieces, didn't she? Afterwards.
Yeah.
She kind of got like typecast where she was just always playing like a princess or like in that realm of the Victorian times. Because she has that voice, innit?
Yeah. Pride and Prejudice, sorry. I'm just having flashbacks.
Oh my God.
I'm just a girl.
Oh my God.
I'm just a girl. I mean, how are you getting upset about me liking Pride and Prejudice when ultimately I've said my favourite Christmassy non-Christmas film is Bridget Jones? That's literally Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
You lot both seen Bridget Jones. Are you lot happy about the sequel happening?
It doesn't need to happen.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. Fair enough, okay.
It doesn't need to
It's not necessary.
I asked, you guys answered.
Yeah.
we got it. Is there any non-Christmas films you guys want to talk about before we move on?
I think we've talked about most of them. There's also Carry On, which, hey.
I watched that.
I did not expect to like that as much.
I didn't. I wasn't fucking with it, you know.
Really?
I just found it a little cheesy. I found the writing a little cheesy.
The liners, you just be like,
Yeah, but I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
It was more that like reaction than anything else.
But I liked the concept of it, especially because it was talking about chemical warfare.
Yeah. I really liked the concept.
Yeah. Like Novikov is a real thing. Yeah. Like, I was thinking about my guy in Salisbury's, the Salisbury's chemical attack situation.
Yeah.
So I liked that concept, but its execution was a
it
was a bit cheesy, but it works for a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it
100%
for Netflix sitting at home.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I was taking out my hair like watching it.
Yeah, because even like Jason Bateman that plays the bad guy in it, he didn't give like a crazy performance. I feel like he was just like
cruise control.
Yeah, definitely on cruise control. Didn't like nothing outstanding whatsoever. But it was just like cool to see, okay, he's playing a villain this time round. Fair enough. He did the same voice, same everything.
I felt like it was battling between whether it wanted to be an action film or whether it wanted to be more of a thriller.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it started off as more of a sort of like quiet, more sort of like bated breath type sort of like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen? And then all of a sudden it's like,
because you say that because there was one scene that came out of nowhere. I was like, okay, we're doing this. Is when the police officer is in the car with the guy. And I think she realizes that he's
it's not him.
Up.
Yeah, and then they have that mad scene.
That one fight scene. I'm like, wait, you guys are trying to get creative with your shots now?
I did like that scene.
I didn't like that, but
it felt so like out of place compared to everything else, but it was good. But it was also like, okay, I guess you guys realized you had some extra cash. Getting somewhere, let's do it. Let's do something.
But it was so
fun
much
stuff.
That scene was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. She had a long day though. She had a long day. She was stressed.
And she's in there like,
no, because every minute she's like, what is going on?
That was going on.
What's her name? Danielle Delwater?
Dyewater?
Yeah, Danielle Dyewater. She was in the piano lessons.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah.
She's really eating up these roles, and I think action's more where she leverages more than some of these period pieces that she keeps getting sucked into.
Yeah. Fair. Well, that's Christmas time.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. This is a wrap up to our Christmas episode.
I mean, we still got more to talk about.
Yeah, but
because we do have a producer in the building.
Okay. She's not feeling this.
She's gonna hate this section.
No, but you know what? I'm gonna use this section as like interview practice. because I'm going to interview both of you so you feel comfortable.
Okay, great.
Wait, what about me?
Because you're technically my producer. You know what? I'd be talking, I'd be about, I'm getting a phone call from Junior. Sorry, my producer's on the phone. My producer's on the phone.
No, we've got a real producer in the building.
No, you're a video producer.
Don't be you. This is like you.
We got a video producer and a film and TV producer.
Oh shit!
So I can do a proper interview here, and you be doing your own ish too. So I feel like you need to be giving yourself accolades here.
Facts.
You've done music production, and then you've done video production on top of that.
Yeah.
So and you've done film and TV production.
Yes.
So I have to ask you both, out of the two types of production you've done, which one do you have a passion for the most?
Film.
Why?
It's just a bit more creative to me. I feel like any of the stuff that I've done with broadcasters has been just very much driven by who can we get on in this that is going to like drive up numbers in terms of viewers. And sometimes they'll be suggesting people that do not make sense for the thing that you're producing.
Yeah.
And so then it's sort of like, cool, like how do I compromise on this? Like how do I give them a little bit of what they want, but also make sure that we're definitely getting what we want?
Yeah.
You know, dealing with the director's feelings, who are ultimately going to be like, the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I haven't really enjoyed working with broadcasters. I just feel like a lot of their ideas aren't great.
Yeah, I think they definitely lean more towards like.
Do you find it more limiting then, just when you are working with TV rather than film, or do you feel like both are quite limiting sometimes?
I think both can be quite limiting for different reasons, but I feel like there's maybe a bit more of a kind of creative conversation that happens in independent film anyway. Like I can't talk about the studio stuff and but it's sort of like the conversations with financiers can be a lot more creative in terms of like why are you choosing to do things this way? Like what's the sort of like creative spirit that's driving this decision?
Yeah.
And like the director can speak to that, or the producers can speak to that. And that conversation will actually be taken into account. And then obviously you have your separate conversation about, okay, logistically, like how is this going to work?
Yeah.
That's not to say like some independent films like don't have to have big names attached, because obviously some of them do. And that is how some of them do get made, especially with like the quote unquote riskier debuts that maybe feel like quite ambitious in scale.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's sort of like, cool, having this name helps get it over the line, but it doesn't necessarily mean that
it will do well.
It doesn't mean that it will do well. It doesn't mean that every single thing is hinging on, oh, we've got such and such involved. It's gonna, you know, like, and also it's kind of the understanding with debuts is that it could go either way. It could be an After Sun, which does do incredibly well, or it could be a film that doesn't, but maybe has cultural impact.
Yeah.
Or it could be a film
like
that
The Room.
You know.
You know, like it could sway either way, or it could be a film that is just a dud. Like you just don't know ultimately. So I guess like that is the risk that you're buying into, or the financiers are buying into, and I guess like the producers as well. Whereas with TV, I just feel like you don't really have that sway. Like the idea that we're gonna cast a bunch of unknown people in this series, unless it's a series that is quote unquote coming of age or made for young audiences, that's not happening.
Okay.
Like you gotta have some kind of name. Like you just have to.
Yeah.
You know. So, but then also independent film has no money. So
yeah.
Fair enough. What were you saying, Maz?
So you worked on Comedy Central. That was a TV show.
Yeah.
We had Munya as well.
Yeah.
And a mixture of really rising come up Black British comedians and artists and actors. And I feel like this is what you were talking about beforehand. How was it though to be a person on the crew kind of hyping everyone up?
Honestly, that project was a lot of fun. It was one of the few times that I've worked with a black commissioner. Shout out to Amy.
Oh, wow.
Amy
Yeah.
Parker Williams, who was the
Sick.
commissioner on that series, because
Yeah.
black woman, and was like really
Love a black woman to infinity, to
Yeah,
infinity.
listen. And Amy was like really pushing for like the representation both on and off screen, and
Yeah.
making sure that, you know, like it's not like we were going to shy away from the fact that like this is a comedy series that is led by a black woman.
Yeah.
That is from the perspective of like a black woman's day and experiences, but kind of like times like on crack, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what our writers' room was made up of. And it's like, it was just like really nice to be in that space of like, this is great. Like, we're having certain conversations and no one's really having to explain anything too tough. And it's like, we're just able to be our authentic selves. And then being able to also bring that in on set. And when we were filming the Thirst Trap episode with Munya, like, a lot of that stuff is just unscripted. It's just them going back and forth. It's just them like going back and forth as comedians, I guess. And just like there's a whole scene where like the camera's just like this, and it's like he says something, then she says something, and they're kind of basically like, well, you look like this and you look like this, and that whole scene is like improvised, because it's just like they can do that. Do you know what I mean? Ultimately, like, they're comedians. They're also friends. Like, they know each other, and so it was just like, do your thing. Like, really and truly, like, do your thing. There's a script. As long as we're sticking to like the structure of the script and we're getting like the gags that we know we want to get in there. Otherwise,
do you like structure or improv?
I think it's necessary to just like help the improv move on, especially if like the whole thing isn't being improv, and you still got to move on to something else that is scripted. I think it's nice to have like some kind of anchor, but then it's also nice to just see like where the scene like takes you, and to just give that some time to be like, let's just see how this plays out. So like that scene like can go on for as long as it goes on in like real life when we're filming it, and then we'll kind of decide like in the edit how long we think that should be, or how short we think that should be, and how it can like move on. It's also just nice to watch. Like, we were all just like cracking up because some of the stuff that they were saying, we were just like, what? You know, so it's like real reactions, and that they would be laughing. Like, it's very much like that kind of energy. I love improv as well. Like, I feel like comedy is really hard to get, and it's really hard to do.
Yeah, really hard to do.
And especially in the form of like a scripted thing.
Definitely.
I think it's quite difficult to do as well.
Yeah.
So out of all the works you've done, and I guess this is probably for both of you, what's your favourite genre that you've kind of worked on?
So this is for both of us.
But how much genres have I worked on?
No, like not even just like as a music producer, because you were a music producer and director.
Technically, yeah.
Don't shy away from that.
You've done music videos, you've done branded content, you've done podcasting, you've done commercials, like you've done vlogs.
I feel like you're shying away from it.
You have worked on short films, like.
Yes.
Well, what's been your favourite genre?
When you say genre,
and you can't obviously say outtake, because I know that's your favourite.
Yeah,
I think one of my favorites will be actually music videos. Like music videos is, I have a hate relationship with music videos. So I've shot a lot of music videos from the start of my career, and for a long time. I think my starting to film was through music videos. I think that's everyone's like thing, especially when you do like freelance work as a videographer. You start off doing music videos, and then you start branching out from there, because you start making electronic artists and whatnot. I've always been into music. I used to have a YouTube channel talking about music and artists and stuff like that. And I always had a vision of like being a music video director and just directing for a bunch of different artists. I feel like I get to be the most creative while listening to songs. I feel like it balances out the mixture of my love for music and also being super creative as well. So I've always just loved the aspect of music videos. I feel like it helps me go into different worlds as well. So Music video has always been my.
Were you ever like, because obviously you've worked with mixture of like labeled artists and then like independent artists.
Yeah.
Was your preference?
Independent's been better in terms of creativity. I've worked with a label once for a music video, gave them a whole treatment, whole idea. They signed off on it. I shot it. Then when it came to editing, they wanted to scrap the idea that essentially was the main bulk of the video.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that like at all. It just felt like I was doing back and forth with label heads that didn't get the idea I had, but for some reason you greenlit it, but now you wanted to push back against it because you felt that the artist was looked upon in a certain
different light
that we kind of already agreed on that will be it, but now they changed their mind, which I didn't like. Of course, they have a slightly more bigger budget, so you get to play around with stuff, but then you get to play around with stuff that ends up getting scrapped essentially. So I didn't enjoy that. I do enjoy working with independent artists. Some of them can be quite creative, so you get to play around with certain ideas, but the budget is not the best. And of course, certain artists, no offense to you guys ain't the best to work with as well. So it's a double-edged sword. But I always say I enjoy independent just because of the creative aspect. So you get a little bit more of a leeway compared to working with labels.
I think that's quite interesting that you both champion independent artists and films and stuff. And I completely agree because I've been on the other side of music videos and having to deal with labels.
I hate music videos. Oh my god.
The first job I did was a music video.
Yeah.
The first paid job I ever did was a music video, and the label didn't like what we'd done, and we'd already shot everything, but you know, I got paid. So 18-year-old me was like, yo, this is mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting to see that. Now, going back to the genre question. You thought you were avoiding it. You're not avoiding it.
Now look at me.
I don't know. It feels like a cop-out answer, but I do like genuinely like the different genres for different reasons. Like I feel like working in comedy, I think actually working in comedy really improved my like scripting skills when it came to like crafting scripts and giving notes and stuff, because it's so hard and it just doesn't get its ratings.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize that comedy is actually harder than drama.
So much harder.
The setup, the delivery is actually quite difficult.
And it just doesn't get its ratings, especially when it's pitted against drama.
Yeah.
Because drama's like, oh, heartfelt. Yeah. And comedy's like, oh, I'm just meant to laugh. And it's like, no, but there's a whole craft in here.
There's a tactic.
And it's hard to do, especially in short form.
Yeah.
And scripted short form. So I feel like comedy, scripted comedy kind of taught me that. I feel like drama teaches you a lot about like the journey.
Yeah.
And like characters, basically. But then like I feel like artist moving image, for example, teaches you a lot just about like world building, because a lot of that can be like non-dialogue or just movement or no movement, or do you know what I mean? It's like super abstract work. And so you're still like, well, how do we convey whatever the story is without having the elements that a drama would have or a comedy would have, and actually having to put a lot of that trust in your audience. So that taught me a lot about like, how do you curate this like immersive world that your audience is going to sit in and take something from and still convey what you want to convey, but you might not have any dialogue at all. So yeah, I get like different things from.
So it always just kind of depends on the script, basically.
Yeah, and kind of. I think drama for me is the easiest out of those three to do.
Yeah.
Because it's quite formulaic. Everyone is kind of already on board with it. Like as soon as they hit play on whatever your thing is going to be, it's like, okay, it's a drama.
Yeah.
Like cool, you know. Whereas like with artist moving image, it's like, oh, this is too abstract. Or like with comedy, it's like, oh, like is this gonna make me laugh?
Yeah.
You know.
That's what it
Whereas like drama is like, okay, cool, I'm with it. Like I'm
Yeah.
willing to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And more often than not, there's a ABC, beginning, middle, and end. Like there's some kind of like character journey. There's some kind of arc that happens. So it's not really. Obviously, like you can do that in lots of different ways, but it's kind of the same thing. When you watch like most like drama short films, I would say there's kind of a formula to most of them.
Yeah.
Whereas with the others, and even with documentary, like you're having to. I feel like sometimes you're having to earn the viewers'
commitment.
Yeah, you're having to really earn it quite early on.
Yeah.
In the short, like specifically short form thing that you're making, and that's really hard to do, to like capture someone's trust in the first like minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so like coming off of that, both of you, what's been the easiest, short or long form? Because I feel like as someone that's now learning how to edit and like curate my own stuff, it's a struggle either way.
Yeah, I don't think it changes.
Yeah, like before, long form was easier, short form was harder for me, because how do you curate like a story in a slotted time? So I do a lot of content creating stuff, so short form will be a minute compared to long form will be like 20 minutes or 30 minutes of me doing edit work for clients. So to learn how to curate that into 1 minute where there's a beginning, middle, and end was very difficult to understand how to do that. Through like my recent job where I was working as content creator, I learned how to do that, but before then it was probably the hardest.
So sorry, it's because I'm conscious of the sound. I'm so conscious of the sound.
It was probably the hardest for me to get into. Because long form, I feel like there's an easy, clear definition of what's the first act, what's the second act, what's the third act, or if there's other acts, because some people kind of follow other stuff as well. But with short form, how do you curate a 3-act story into a 60-second clip? And that was very difficult for me at the time. Now, I think long form is still harder to do. I think short form is still hard to do, sorry, but I've learned how to do that a lot more now.
Okay. Now, as a couple, because you're both producers and you've both directed on things.
I mean, I'm not a producer.
One time. I would not call myself a director.
She
just
directed
gonna say
a Netflix documentary.
Why
Once.
why are you going to undermine yourself like this?
I just it's not my job.
But it's mine, so here I am hyping you up. After a couple bottles as well. So, and you both have each other, and I would definitely say you're my producer to
Facts.
this day.
Facts.
I wouldn't have learned half of the things that I've learned, and like to this day, a lot of my friends are like, I've seen so much growth in the way you're doing things in terms of growth and curating things.
Shout out to Mazzaveli.
But that would not have happened if I had not had both of you in my corner.
Shout out to Tobi.
So, as a couple, because, you know, we have the amazing Barry Jenkins and Lulu working together and doing their own things. This is my Barry and Lulu.
No, you're Lulu.
You know what I mean? So, out of the two of you, what have you learned creatively from each other?
Oh, that's a good fucking
question.
question.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
You
thought I was just yapping for no reason.
In terms of what in life or work, I think
what you learn in life from both of each other helps you grow in your work.
Yeah, I think communication is the main thing I've learned. Understanding to communicate how I feel, communicate how others feel as well. I think that translates to my work quite a lot, of like informing people in terms of workload, talking to clients, communicating like edits, how I feel about edits, so on and so forth. I learned a lot from Tobi, a lot about like different careers within the film industry as well. Like we spoke briefly about like script writing. Like that's something I never really paid attention to in terms of watching a movie. Me and Toby will watch a film and she'll literally just go, I don't like the writing in this. And it sounds like this person, we won't say the person, has wrote it. And when she starts saying that, it actually had a light bulb pop in my head to actually pay attention to the actual dialogue that happens within the film. So much so that now that I watch stuff, I actually really pay attention to the writing of a film, how the characters are talking to one another, because now I pay attention to how kids talk to each other in films, and I'm like nitpicking on the dialogue where I'm like, kids actually would not speak like this. It sounds like an older person wrote the script for this person, not really thinking the fact that these are children speaking to one another and they're talking as if they're like 39-year-olds, which doesn't make sense. And like before Toby, I probably just watched that and didn't think a thing about it. But now it's something that I kind of pay attention to and kind of like note now when it comes to like rating a film, talking about a film. I pay attention to the actual dialogue and how the two characters are talking to one another. Yeah.
How about you? It's your turn, Toby. Don't be going, yeah.
I feel like from a technical standpoint, he really like. Can you relax? He like.
It's the bubbles going to his brains.
Yeah.
Wave.
So when we watch a film together, he really zooms in on like cinematography, choice of shots. So like the aesthetic and how they've chose to put that together, or like the particular lenses that they chose to shoot on. And I will notice these things, but it's not like, I wouldn't say that was like the beginning of my analysis of a film. I would sort of be like, very producerially, like, don't think we needed that shot. Don't think we needed that.
Yeah, he definitely.
He would even say all the time, like, why did we need that? We could have just skipped and like gone straight to, like, I'm cutting up the story in my head basically. And then giving notes as you would if you were watching like the draft of like a film, to then give notes to your director. And like, we were watching Concalve.
Batman film.
Fucking banging, by the way.
Banging
10 out of fucking 10. Give
You
them all
guys,
the awards.
Manny and Sarah have hyped up.
Give them all the motherfucking awards.
I still think about the shots.
Oh my god.
Still think about the shots.
Did you not see the thing that I shared on my story and I sent to him as well?
Yeah.
The shots were crazy.
We were like, every shot, we were like losing our shit.
He was telling me to chill out. Because
no,
shot after shot, I was like, he's not stopping. He's giving us bangers.
It was shot after shot after shot, and there was an intentionality behind it. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that I wouldn't have noticed that stuff before, but I would have been a lot more focused on like, what's the stuff that we can take away to make this whole thing stronger.
Yeah.
As opposed to like,
yeah,
the beauty of a film.
Yeah, she definitely has producer eyes when she watches.
Yeah, I do. It's really bad.
There's a lot of like, we didn't need that shot. We could have cut.
More time, I'm right there.
I think you're thinking.
Right. But I'm looking from a creative like point of view.
Exactly.
Like, this shot looks good, so
yeah.
I would have kept it.
Exactly. And now I think there's a balance of like, what can we have that is gonna give us like the aesthetic indulgence that I actually don't mind as much. Like, I was shooting a short film at the very beginning of this year, and the director really wanted to shoot it on film, and we were shooting it in Nigeria. And usually when a director's like, I want to shoot it on film, I'm like, why? Like, you kind of have to justify that to me because it's expensive, and like, especially for shorts, it's like a lot of your budget.
Yeah.
So I have to also be able to justify it.
Go say the name. Say the name of the film.
Oh, Leaving Ikorodu 999. It's our BFI and Film Forward short. And yeah, it was like one of the few times that I've actually really fought to shoot something on film.
Yeah.
because it was such a huge chunk of our budget, we were going to have to like dig into our contingency before we started shooting to even just get the film.
Yeah.
I've got to justify that to the financiers because they're like, huh?
Yeah.
You're going into your contingency now. Like, you're meant to go into that like a lot later into the production. But it was like probably one of the first times where I've been like, aesthetically,
it needed to happen.
This is going to fucking slap. I can't imagine this not being shot that way.
And like, I'll say this because I've always been quite an aesthetics-based babes. And anyone that knows me, I always think about the cinematography first in terms of storylines. When you shared that to me and I saw that it was in film,
I feel like it was meant to be in film.
I died.
Yeah.
Like,
had to be in film.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been film, it would have had to been like, you know, like VCR based
Yeah.
film. Because there's no other way it could have been done.
Yeah.
Like digital would have just...
It just would have been...
It puts a certain level of like empathy and emotion and realness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like a timepiece as well. I feel like
I
it
agree.
made sense to add
For a 90s timepiece as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's just using like film back in the day. So it just makes sense.
Yeah.
I agree. And it's like, again, it's not like I didn't care about the aesthetics before. I think I also just like really trusted my directors to really like deliver on the aesthetics. So I just didn't have to think about it. It's like, I feel like you've got that down. Like, I don't think I've ever worked with a director who, I think that, like, especially if they're writer-directors, a lot more time I'll be really focused on the writing part with them than the directorial stuff. Because I'll be like, oh, you've got that down. More time you're going to be lacking in the writing than the directing as a writer-director.
Yeah.
So just be like, yeah. It's going to look great. Like, I trust it's going to look great. I don't have to think about that. But I feel like watching films with you, where you're like, like, you love your, like, slow pushing shots. Like,
slow.
Like, those kind of...
He's a Spike Lee fan.
Oh, my God. He loves, like, those kind of things. And it just made me really pay... It made me pay a lot more attention to them. Because I was like, why do you love these shots so much? Like, I get that they're cool.
Yeah. And,
like, visually they're cool. But, like, my thing is, like, what does it do for the story? And so, like, having to, like, lean into it more and be like, okay... And Concalve.
Oh shit!
Oh damn! You know the film. The film.
It's the whole thing over.
You know the film is so good. You gotta spill your drink.
It was at least it was that good.
At least it's a red drink. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But it was
in the tea.
Every single shot was meant to be there. There was no point where I felt like we didn't need this. Why is that there? Even if it was indulgent, I'm like, indulge in that shit.
Because the stuff they're talking about was important to the story.
Yeah.
It just had a really creative shot for it as well.
To add depth.
Yeah, which was amazing. And it was very much...
So good.
The lighting it did as well. It felt very... Obviously, it's based on religion as well. So it's like some shots felt very godlike, where spotlights hit certain characters, some certain characters were in a forefront.
Religious imagery was in the place.
It was trying to push the fact that this person is meant to be like the powerful force talking to the other people as well. So
but then you got the shot of the popes like smoking outside.
Oh my gosh. The montage, there's a montage where it shows all different popes like chilling. They look like gangsters.
Yeah.
The black guy was walking, with his gangs behind him.
Oh.
And he was like, what's up? He's like, what's up? He's just smiling like, yo,
chains swinging. That crucifix just, oh my God.
It was good. It was good.
They look like G's. They look like G's. And so I was like, okay, this film is going to do, and then it just kept going. It never stopped.
It never stopped.
It never stopped.
They never lacked on the shots.
It didn't detract from the story. It wasn't like, it fed into it.
And then 100%. To this day, I haven't heard anyone give it a bad review.
That is like one of my top films of this year.
Like to this day, I haven't heard one person give it a bad review. I'm waiting till I have time because with this one, I want to make sure
big screen.
I need time to just be on my own.
I'm definitely gonna watch it again in the big screen.
I
need to see those shots again.
Yeah.
It was amazing. That was beautiful.
Yeah, we watched it on my projector, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
Through BAFTA, not illegally. Just want to say. Before someone's like, hey.
Well, we are running out of time right now. We do have a game to play after this as well. But thank you, Tobi, for joining us. Thanks to you for being a part of this episode. I do have one small question to ask you. It could be a quick answer. I know a lot of people watch here that some of them don't really understand the film industry. It'd be great for you to just break down in short form what is a producer.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
And also
quickly,
I'll say this now: producers need more money because I've been
I'm
friends.
begging.
I've been
I'm
friends.
actually begging.
I've been friends with producers
on
for
my
the
knees.
past 2 years, and you know what? You guys go through stress and hell, curating location, making sure everyone's got their place.
Got 2 minutes.
We're
You've
broke,
got your
guys.
rooms.
We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Oh.
We're broke.
We've got 2 minutes. We've got 2 minutes. The camera's the thing's gonna run out of bamboo.
Okay. A lot of people describe as a producer someone that gets shit done. What a producer does depends on the form. So what a producer does for branded content will be slightly different to what a producer does for commercials, will be slightly different to what a producer does for film and TV, etc., etc. Also depends on how many other producers there are, how many other execs there are. Yeah. So in short form, you're going to be doing everything. Because there's no money. So
That's like planning.
You're going to be managing the entire budget. You're going to be crewing up everyone. You might be contracting everyone. You might be scouting all of the locations. You might be doing all of the call sheets. Like, because you don't have the independent departments that are going to be doing all of that.
Yeah.
When you go to kind of feature film, then you're more kind of like
got head of house.
overarching. So you're still going to have the overarching oversight along the budget. You're going to have the overarching oversight on the creative. You're going to be having those like really important conversations with the financiers, so the people that are giving you the funds to make the film.
Yeah.
Where you're going to meet weekly to talk about how the budget is doing and how the creative is doing. You're going to be having that really close-knit relationship with the writer-director. But you've got other people doing the other thing. So you will have a location manager that's just focused on locations, but you're still going to be in dialogue and so on and so forth. Ultimately, money and creative is your job.
You hear it here first.
And you know what? Them man be going through stress and hell. They've been going through
have no
stress.
money, guys.
Honestly, I think producers
We're
are
broke.
probably the lowest ranked jobs in the whole film industry because they looked upon as like the bare minimum when it's probably the highest thing out of everything, and they
high
deal with a lot of
stakes.
stress.
It's a high stakes.
They deal with a lot of
The
personally
risk.
using their own money as well.
Yeah, so much. Oh my God, I've spent so much of my own money on my projects.
Yeah. But
every single one.
We will have Tobi back.
Mm-hmm.
And we do a deep dive on the struggles of being a producer.
And a black talent creative.